my name is Alicia. Welcome to my channel. So today I do have some Ipsy add-ons, but it's also a get to know me and kind of a giveaway combined. I feel so blessed, at least as of today. I'm at like 540 subscribers. So this is partly for a 500 subscriber giveaway. Normally I do it over like a 2-week period and every video's comments count. But I'm going to try to use the comment picker. So my Luxely Beauty box is my first video that if you comment you will get entered in a giveaway. And this video is the second video that will qualify. 3 boxes, 3 different winners. So one person can't win all 3 boxes. It's a collection of things I've gotten in my subscription boxes that maybe I don't use or I just want to pass along. But anyway, thank you guys so much. I never thought in a million years when I started this that I would ever even probably get to 100 subscribers. So I am super excited and so thankful. I can't believe I'm at 540, at least as of today. So I have some questions that I thought about answering, and then Sheila over at Face and Fashions, she did a Q&A a while back, and so I grabbed some of the questions that she used. But anyway, so it's kind of good to get to know me since there's so many new faces. But let's do my Ipsy add-ons first. So as you know, because the expression comes out of my mouth a lot, things jump into my cart, whether I'm at the store or online, and I buy them. Often when I can't sleep or whatever, I just go shopping. So Ipsy, of course, has add-ons, and I think this wasn't even an add-on. This might have been a flash sale. It was these 2 products for $16. I am also poor at researching. I just, like random and click and buy without really even knowing. So I have a foundation and a concealer. I wasn't really aware that for the $16, I was getting a $56 value. I have all the products on today. So my first product is this one. Ooh, hopefully it's gonna focus there. There we go. So this is the Wonder makeup. Let's see, what is it? Wonder Nude Illusion Liquid Foundation. This is in Fair. Normally I go with the lightest color. I almost feel like maybe today it was too light in a way. But this is $40 all by itself. This is supposed to help with redness. It's a medium to full colored. It has Lotus, which I'm not familiar with. Balances sebum. It has Centella Asiatica, sodium hyaluronate, niacinamide, black currant. So I am super, super, super excited for this. Now, even better, which again, I had no idea when I bought it. Now, I will say that it's hard to get out. Like, I feel like it's like literally like I'm fighting it, and then it kind of spilled. Super excited for this applicator. I have never had a foundation where I can just dab it on. I love that. Now, I will say it's messy. And I don't know whether I have a particularly hard one, but it is a struggle getting that out. This is only the first time I've worn it. Maybe it'll get better. But gosh, if you think about each one of these was $8, this was a good deal. The next up is a concealer. I'm kind of coming to the realization that maybe I don't like concealer. I put it on. This also seems very light. This is an ivory. So this is by Julep. Julep, I know them from nail polish. Hopefully that's focusing. I guess I didn't realize they also do makeup. This is an awesome. This is just really, really nice packaging. It's kind of like a metal. You open it up, there's a twist bottom, and then you just kind of applicate it on. It goes on really pale, but then when I'm not sure, maybe I need help on where I do with concealer. I put it on first, and then I put my foundation over it. But once I kind of blended it out, it kind of lost its coverage, so I don't know whether I'm doing it wrong. Maybe I'm doing it wrong. But the packaging is just so sleek to me. This metal, kind of like gunmetal, twisty thing, really just like the packaging. So those are my Ipsy, I think, flash sale. So anyway, let's do the get to know me. And the first one I'm gonna do is how or why I got started on YouTube. If you don't know, I lost both my parents, not at the same time, thankfully, but my mom when I was 21 and my dad 6 years ago, literally 2 weeks before my daughter was born. And I struggled. for quite a bit of time, probably 2 years-ish, you know, highs and lows during that time. But I really probably was dressing terrible when I went to work. Sloppy, just not put together. And then as I was coming out of that like haze, I don't know how specifically I got onto Stitch Fix. I don't know how I heard about it, but all of a sudden I was like, Stitch Fix, that sounds like fun. And then I don't, again, know how I even got the idea to go on YouTube and look up Stitch Fix. I really have no idea how that came to me. Prior to that, I was not into YouTube in the least. So it started by just watching other people and their Stitch Fixes. And then I thought, why not film a Stitch Fix? And back then, for whatever reason, I felt like I should delete my content every few months. I really don't know what I was thinking. So there is not really many of those, if any of those footages back. But I used my phone, literally stood in a mirror, showed it at the mirror. So needless to say, I've evolved in how I film. But that's kind of how I started with the Stitch Fix. And in the beginning, it was only clothing. But anyway, it's so fun. I just love, I don't know, I love sharing things. I love this community, meeting friends, and, you know, we comment, and anyway, I love this. So I'm glad I got into this. So I am originally from Indiana, which I mentioned Indiana quite a bit. I'm sure also my coworkers are tired of me talking about Indiana. I moved here 16 years ago. My husband had a job here. And I've always had this struggle, you know, do we stay, do we go? I miss my family in Indiana, but we have really good jobs here. So anyway, we're conservative in that regard. Like, I would hate just to jump ship. California has many benefits. Also, some maybe not so benefits, but I love nature. Nature is super important to me. Hiking is just, we do hiking almost every weekend. I just feel like I need to get out into nature to cleanse my soul. So California has that in spades. Hiking trails galore, just from our house alone, within, you know, we have plenty within 5 minutes, but within 20 minutes, there's all kinds of like regional parks, state parks, where we can go hiking. And then there's the bigger hikes at the bigger mountains. So nature here is just in abundance. We also have the beach. That's more my husband and daughter, but I appreciate the beach. But there's lots of people. Traffic. Now with COVID, it's not been so bad, but there are so many people. There's waits for everything. Traffic is crazy. So that, you know, is kind of a negative. People are not as friendly. No offense to those of you that live in California. Not that saying if you go to your job and you get to know people that they're not nice. But like in Indiana, things are slower. People, like I remember like growing up, as I lived out in the country, if I had a car problem, literally the next 5 people that passed me would stop, be offering to help. Not quite sure that would happen here, especially since I live kind of in like Orange County between LA and San Diego, so it's more suburban. So I think people are more leery because we have more like, I don't know, crazy people around here. But anyway, so there's always a struggle of go home, stay here, kind of a thing. I'm a teacher, so I teach 7th grade science. I love teaching. I think it's fun. So I think that's a win if you think your job is fun. One of my questions is, how did I meet my husband? McDonald's, if you can believe it. So we met in high school. Poor guy liked me immediately. And then it took me literally 6.5 years to wake up. So the poor guy got to watch me date people, but we both worked at McDonald's in high school. We were instant best friends. Like he was my best friend from day one. My mom, which really means a lot to me, she knew him. She loved him. She kept saying, Alicia, don't you think he's cute? I'm like, oh gosh, Mom, give me a break. So I just did not see it. When he graduated college, he moved to California. It took that summer of him being gone that I was like, whoa, my best friend is gone. I also, back in the day, went to school to be a biologist. So I was on an internship in the middle of nowhere, Colorado, like literally an hour and 40-minute drive on a dirt road to where there was like a Walmart, a McDonald's, and a gas station, and that was pretty much it. So I had lots of time to think. So I don't even know why, but I was making a list of what I wanted in a husband, and somehow it clicked that he had everything. Of course, I call him, and he's going out on a date that night with somebody. But needless to say, we've now been married for 16 years. But the poor guy had to wait for me. thank you, McDonald's, for that. And then now I think we get into some of the questions that Sheila from Face and Fashions was doing. Did you have an imaginary friend as a child? Yes. I would say I had imaginary worlds. And until I met my husband, I thought maybe I was crazy. Not that I had many conversations with people about that. But I lived out in the country, so it was me. I was an only child. I had some dogs, cats, we had chickens. So I would go out, we had like an acre or half acre. And I would go out with my animals, and I just have these pretend worlds. I love Little House on the Prairie, so I don't necessarily know that I had my imaginary teddy bear or imaginary here's Susie, but I almost had worlds that I would create, that I'd be out there playing or doing something, and the dog or the chicken would, would be part of this world. But very much had an imaginary world, people, I don't know. But that was just growing up out in the country, which I also think formed me as I like alone time. Alone time is very important to me, and I think that's because being an only child out in the country, you had to entertain yourself, you had lots of time to kind of reflect. So even still to this day, I need alone time. Now that I have a daughter, I don't get as much, but I still make time for that because it's really important for me. Another fun question that she did was, did you have a celebrity crush when you were little? My first two that I remember, one was Harrison Ford in Han Solo, or not in Han Solo, in Star Wars as Han Solo. He's the exact age as my dad would have been, so it's so funny that as like a 12-year-old or something, I had a crush on a guy my dad's age. And then the other one was Brad Pitt in like A River Runs Through It. I had those posters in my room, so I was really into Brad Pitt when I was in 7th grade. So those would be my celebrity crushes. Let's see, what does this say? I can't even read my own writing. Oh, this says if you could go back to any era, which would you go? I would love the idea of time travel. If you are not going to get the diseases or, there's not going to be any hiccups. I would love to go back in time for the day. I would love the Jane Austen kind of England era. But I would love any of that. Egypt, like I would just be fascinated. I would travel like the 1800s, be a pioneer. Like I would love that, especially if I can't die in like a war or dysentery or any of that. The idea of a time travel like that would be so fun. Like a holodeck kind of Star Trek thing. I would love that. Be able to go kind of live in that world. So I think that would be fun. It would be hard to pick one. I would want to do them all. Another question is, if you could live in any season, I think forever, what would it be? My favorite season is fall. I might get tired of that if I had to live in that for the next 10 years. We really, in my opinion, have zero fall in California. So that's the biggest bummer. Seasons were so hard for me to adjust to coming to California. It never feels like Christmas. I mean, never. Our cold season is very variable if you say cold season, but often it doesn't start until January. Like right now we're kind of in our cold season, which is sprinkled with 80s. But anyway, we do have lows. Like I think yesterday was like a low of 55 or a high of 55. But fall, I love fall. I don't know what there is about it. I love fall. So I would pick fall. I miss the fall. I miss the trees. There's not as many trees here in California in reality. So fall for sure. Let's see. Favorite type of jewelry. So, and that was basically yellow gold, silver, or rose gold. I can't stand rose gold. And maybe if I had a quality piece of rose gold, it wouldn't matter. But like some of the pieces I've gotten in subscription boxes, the rose gold to me looks tarnished. But I think that's just, I don't like rose gold. So I guess regular yellow gold would be my favorite. But I have, 50-50 as far as silver pieces and gold color pieces. It just depends on the outfit. Like this one, like this shirt, I would think more silver. So it kind of based on the outfit. Otherwise, I really don't really care. And then the last question is if you could have any 5 things, what would they be? And that's one of those crazy questions where you could rattle off 5 material things, or then you could be like philosophical and like pick 5 things like world peace. So that's kind of a tough question. One thing I would pick is more flexible vacation time, but that kind of ties back to the fall. As a teacher, I am blessed with lots of time off. I mean, I have a whole summer off, so I really can't complain. but we're not technically allowed to take time off. So it would be very frowned upon if I just took a week off in October. So I would really love more flexible vacation time so I could take a fall trip. I would love to take a fall trip. When I did halftime, I was lucky enough to do halftime for about 4 years when my daughter was born. So I had a teaching partner. And every fall we took a trip. And I just love North Carolina, Tennessee, the Smoky Mountains. Part of me would want to move there. Like, I just love when we're in Tennessee or in the like Smoky Mountains, and I forget what that highway is, the Blue Ridge Parkway, I don't know. I just feel like my soul is at home there. If we weren't so conservative, as far as we have good jobs and all of that, I would want to move there. Also, we have zero family there, so that's also a drawback. We really don't have family here in California either. Kevin is originally from San Diego, so he has family in San Diego. But in the summer with traffic, that could easily be a 3-hour drive, although not normally that long. So it's not the same as having family right near you. So in Orange County where we are, we have zero family. So I couldn't start over. I wouldn't want to go to like Tennessee or North Carolina and have nobody and start all over. That was so hard for me when we first moved here. It was a very hard adjustment. So that was a long ramble for that question. I put more time with family also because I live here. I would love the whole spend a day with my dad, to have my dad meet Cora, to have my mom meet Cora. I think that would probably just open more cans of worms than it was worth, because like that Diamond Rio song, One More Day, it would never be enough. But I would love my dad to meet Cora. That bothered me for a long time. Like, I just wish he would have met her. And then another kind of crazy thing that probably wouldn't be on most people's list, I want to see Cora grow up. I don't think about death like a lot, but in that way, but because my parents are dead, I really just want to be there for Cora, and see her grow up. I would really love to be a grandma and to see her have kids. So I hope that I have a long life where I can see her grow up. But anyway, that was the answers to that question. Anyway, don't forget to comment if you'd like to be in the giveaway. I would love it if you would tell me something about you. Maybe answer one of those questions from you. I would love to get to know you. But anyway, thank you so much for stopping by, and I appreciate you guys. Have a great week.